my name is Paula Martinez. I'm 23 years old, and this year I was nominated and sponsored by the Rotary Club of King's Cross, located in Sydney, Australia, to attend Ryla 2018. After watching that short but very exciting introductory video, you probably have a lot of questions, like, what in the world is Ryla? Why was there a snake in that video? And what does any of this have to do with Rotary International? Well, I have formatted and structured this video to help answer all of those who, what, where, when, and why questions that you may be having. So I have also divided this video into 3 parts to make it clear. In the first part, we'll be answering what is Ryla, who attends Ryla, how are Rylarians chosen, and when and where does this event take place. After doing that, I will follow up by taking you on this journey with me. And by that I mean I'm going to be showing you short clips of the actual workshops and events and classes that we took while we were at this week-long event. So I hope that by seeing what we were seeing, we kind of put you in that experience, kind of movie mode. We'll see. And then finally, in the third part of this video, I will be sharing some of the take-home messages, the lessons learned that my friend and I received from Ryla. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy your meal. I say enjoy your meal because originally this video was only intended to be shown at the Rotary Club of King's Cross meetings that happens on Mondays. And what happened though is that I saw the immense value that there is in attending Ryla, so I decided to extend the audience of this video to everyone who loves to serve their community and has an interest in increasing their leadership skills. So without further ado, I now present to you what Ryla is. Thank you. Alright, so let's start with the basics. What is Ryla? Ryla stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. Through this leadership award, candidates aged 18 to 25 who have demonstrated leadership through their work, community involvement, or study are invited to attend. Now, instead of going into Rotary's formal definition of what Ryla is and its purpose, I thought it would be much more cooler and interesting to ask actual delegates what Ryla means to them. So here are 3 responses. Laura Burling said, in layman's terms, it is a leadership development conference, but it's so much more. Ryla is an impactful and life-changing experience that really tests your endurance and your confidence. I definitely have to agree with that statement. Vanessa Dixon said, it's a program aimed at giving young adults the skills necessary to be effective leaders. Now, my personal favorite was from Alex Mellebag, who said, why don't you come along and find out for yourself? Winky face. Now we get to who attends Ryla. So this year, I had the honor of getting to meet 37 new delegates and 7 formal Rylarians who had already been through the process and who are amazing and dedicated months and weeks and hours and probably tears of planning to make sure that we had an incredible experience. Of these 7 leaders, 6 of them were team leaders and one of them was like the papa dog of the leaders, so the leader of leaders. And the rest of us were newbies who were just ready to see what we could learn and experience. So this year I had the privilege of working under Grace Audrey. Shout out to you, girl. You did a phenomenal job of encouraging, motivating, and really pushing our group past their comfort zones so that we could really grow during that week. So thank you so much for everything you did. You know that you were there for me in a really hard time, and just beyond that, like, you were an amazing person to follow in terms of being an example. So yeah, that's Grace. I'll insert a picture right here of who Grace is. And then in this next picture, you see Purple Power. This was the team I was placed into, who we would share our really personal thoughts and things that we learned throughout the week with. So in my team, we have Simon, Philip, Ollie, Dexter, Ria, and Leela. It was really easy to get along with everyone in our group. We all kind of clicked. We all were willing to learn. And that's what makes Ryla really special. Like, the environment is very encouraging and people were all very ambitious. Speaking of ambitious, I now want to briefly talk about 3 people that I met at camp. And I wanted to mention people who aren't in my group specifically because you'll probably see pictures of them throughout this video. So I'll start with Miss Sarah Young. Sarah Young is a young author who wrote the book I'm holding right now. It's called Through Young Eyes. If you haven't read it, get your hands on it. Totally worth it. When we were at camp, we had a talent show night, and I really didn't get to talk to Sarah that much at all during camp, but whenever I heard her read one of the pages of her book, I was just blown away by how mature and wise this woman is, given how young she is. And I just wanted to read one of the quotes that she put on page 3, just to get an idea of like how amazing she is. She said, "Don't let fear stop you from trying something new." And then she quoted Susie Chasm, who once said, "Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will." That's so good. And she's just saying how you limit yourself by not even trying, and that's worse than having failed and tried, you know? But anyway, that's Sarah Young. That's one person I met at camp. The second person I met at camp was JoJo. JoJo is probably one of the coolest artists I've met. During one of our sessions, I'll insert a clip, we had an event called Breaking Boards. And here we all, we all broke our board and then we signed. It was kind of like going back to high school and everybody would sign your yearbook. We all signed each other's boards and wrote really beautiful comments. But JoJo was very interesting because she actually drew like self-portraits of every single person, like of every person under 30 seconds, and they did look like us. If I have a picture, I will put it here so you can see that she actually caught me pretty good, like with like the really like chunky cheeks and everything. I love it. So that was JoJo. And then the third person I met was Miss Gemma Curcio. I probably am not saying her name right. But Gemma is a phenomenal singer. For Talent Night, she sang, I forgot the name of the song, but I'll insert a clip. No easy way to this girl has lungs. Like, I was blown away. And the whole reason that I even mentioned these people is because I just want to get at the point that, we don't have to be all PhD geniuses to come to this kind of thing. We're all people from different backgrounds, just trying to love on the world, love on others, and do our best. Yeah. So how are delegates chosen? Each Rotary Club will nominate and sponsor a delegate to attend Ryla. However, if you're interested in applying, Rotary.org encourages you to find your nearest Rotary Club to find out more about Ryla and how to apply. So if you're really keen after watching this, don't forget about it, go for it, or you will regret it, I promise. So after candidates are selected, if successful, they interview with the club, and then they attend the camp and are asked at the end to come back to the club and really talk about their experiences. That's basically what this video is. This is my presentation to the King's Cross Club of the experience. So yeah, that's how delegates are chosen. When and where does Ryla take place? The exact date and location depends on each district, but this year my Ryla program was run at Camp Barramundi YMCA, located in New South Wales, Australia, and the dates were from January 2nd to the 7th. We would have started on January 1st, but of course it's New Year and we kind of all want to be with our families. So yeah, that was when it took place. Now, the duration of each Ryla program depends again on each district. It can be 1 day long, 3 days long, or even a week long. And how it works is that once your seminar, your event finishes, you graduate, you get a certificate, and from there on, you are forever known as a Rylarian. Yeah. All right, we made it to Camp Barramundi.
And you forwarded that to me.
Thank you, David. You are amazing. Woo woo! Okay. Hey Rotary family, so we're walking to the cabins right now with Gemma and my friends. Getting our stuff put away. It's gonna be exciting! So soon after being taken to our cabins, we had our opening ceremony where our fearless leaders were introduced to us, and right after that we had lunch, which happened to be and fall on the same day as Marvin, one of Delegate's birthdays. Marvin! Happy birthday to you! Hooray! 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 Soon after lunch, we were immediately thrown into our first workshop, which was run by an organization called Toastmasters. The purpose of this workshop was to teach us how to improve our public speaking skills by including strategies such as telling stories in our speeches. None of us knew this, but one of us would be selected to go present at this year's district level conference for Toastmasters. I'm very happy to announce that I was the winner for this very special privilege. I feel very fortunate that I had the opportunity to work under Ross LaRosa's guidance, for he was my Toastmasters mentor. I truly believe that it was his tips and advice that helped me deliver a strong speech that day. Hey guys, so I'm at the Ryla event with Ross LaRosa, and we just finished presenting speeches that we were trained how to improve and create with good content, and Ross LaRosa was our instructor. So Ross, I have a question for you. If there was one tip you could give people to deliver a really good, eloquent speech, what would it be?
Most of all, be your authentic self. Come from your heart and you'll connect with everyone in the room.
Amazing. And can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
I'm a speaker, educator and consultant, and I really love working with all kinds of people, especially youth and young adults like we have done today, and it's really fun, and I'm on rosslarosa.com.
Amazing. Make sure you go follow him. Thank you, Ross.
Cheers.
After Toastmasters, we had dinner and went straight into playing some icebreaker games so that we could really break the awkwardness in the room and get to know each other. Here are some examples of what we did.
Hi, I'm Callum, and I like playing soccer.
On day 2, we had a guest speaker come in. Her name was Beck. She spoke to us about the different 4 types of bird personalities that exist. She explained that it was really important to know which bird you are so that you can understand why you may react to conflict in different ways than others.
If we can make these subconscious elements conscious in our lives, we can actually have some level of control and influence on them. If we don't, life will just continue to go on and we won't understand why things are happening or how we can actually make a difference and make a change. So what we're going to do today, we are going to kick off with an activity. So you're going to do this by yourselves. Does everyone have a pen?
For Beck's activity, we were asked to fill out a questionnaire that would help identify which bird type we are. There are 4 different types of bird personalities. There are doves, which are peace-loving and kind. There are owls, which are logical and intelligent. There are peacocks, which are showy and outgoing. And there are eagles, who are bold and decisive. Now, which bird was I? It's very interesting. I was actually both a dove and a peacock, which is strange because doves are usually introverted and peacocks are usually extroverted. So why did this happen? When I look back at my life, most of the time I used to be an introvert. It wasn't until about 4 years ago that I became an extrovert, so that might be why. But it's very interesting to see how sometimes everything isn't very clear-cut as we think it should be. Later that day, we also heard from Mark Smethers, who is the Commissioner of the New South Wales SES. Now, he spent a long time really talking about his stories of when he served in the military and had a lot of positions of leadership. What I took away from his talk was the importance of knowing how to work in a team and knowing how to react whenever things don't go right, and also how to overcome those challenges that we face. To be honest, we had a lot of guest speakers throughout this whole week, so I don't want to go into detail about every single one, or we will literally be here for an hour. So I will quickly mention that we had a guest speaker come in and tell us all about Rotary, and then we were introduced to the Rylarian Apprentice Challenge. This challenge basically pushed every single group to develop a program that could potentially be implemented and that works in furthering one of Rotary's key areas of focus, which could be disease prevention and treatment, war and conflict resolution, increasing literacy rates. As long as it fit the criteria, we had to develop a presentation and present it to a panel of judges on the last day of the week to see who would be the winner and if potentially this could actually be implemented. Day 3 was by far my favorite day because we got to do a lot of hands-on team building activities. For example, here we had to build a chair without speaking for 1 hour. It was really hard. There are the chairs we built. We also got to go through an obstacle course with different team members that we hadn't been with all week, and also do a high ropes course, which was extremely scary.
So both like sitting on the
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And then your partner can let go of the rope.
Woo! You did it! You're on the wobbly one! Woo! Made the big log.
Just go on one side. And you just go, yeah, like that.
We got Andrew in the background attempting the last section. It's a little bit hard. So Simon, have you been enjoying the camp so far?
It's so good. It's so good. It's so much fun.
What's been your favorite part?
Probably building IKEA furniture with you.
Aww.
Yeah, that was definitely it so far.
I loved it too. You donated it?
Yeah, didn't you know? So the furniture that we built went to like Indigenous elders so they could have somewhere to sit at their community centre.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Ryla 2018. Probably one of the most useful activities that we engaged in was Opinion Dominion. This activity was designed to help us learn how to converse versus argue, or I guess fight, whenever speaking in a group over very controversial issues. We talked about abortion, we talked about Trump, we talked about anything that could create fights that you could think of. But before going into these conversations, we had seen a video of people who had conversed not in a good way. How their body language really worked against them to where nobody would actually listen to their opinions because they were being so arrogant and not letting the other person speak and interrupting. Therefore, Opinion Dominion really taught us the importance of being respectful, knowing when to talk and how to talk. We finished the day by breaking boards, which was extremely intimidating because half of us didn't know if we were going to be able to do it. But once we did, it felt so liberating and very victorious. By this point, you probably have a pretty good picture of what our Ryla experience was like, or at least I hope so. However, I did think there was one more guest speaker that was definitely worth mentioning. He is a person that really helped us learn how to conquer our fears in a very interesting way. His name is Dr. Anthony Gunn. He is a psychologist and he is the author of the book I'm holding right here called Be Confident. That really talks about how we can conquer our social fears. You know, owning those thoughts and really getting rid of those negative self-defeating thoughts that don't allow us to enjoy life as we should. Anyways, he was one of our speakers at Ryla, and as you will see in the next clips, he had a very interesting way of helping us face those things that we're most afraid of.
If I can just gently rest it over your shoulders. Sure?
Yeah.
Here we go.
I feel like I know where this is going, I'm scared. Yeah.
Oh, look at that, round of applause. 240 volts of electricity is now going around Brianna's neck. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that's okay. Alright, well, join us for a while. Hold her back.
I'm gonna cry for this sound.
Okay, here we go. Just gently rest it.
Hey guys, I'm here with Laura, and Laura, I wanted to ask you, what do you take away from Ryla 2018?
I really learned to get out of my comfort zone and to say yes to everything, which is something, you know, I wouldn't have done without this experience.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
My favourite part about being a Ryla team leader is being a part of the journey of Ryla participants, watching them come in when they first experienced Ryla on their first day, to watching how they've developed and grown as individuals, and how they left Ryla with confidence and just a new aspect on life and their lives, and how they want to take what they've learned about Ryla into the real world. And then even being able to talk with them over the last week after leaving Ryla and how they're going, and seeing how just that short period of time has changed just from their Ryla experience.
So guys, we have now completed Ryla 2018, and I wanted to ask you, what is the biggest lesson or takeaway you guys have from this experience? I can start with Mr. Dexter.
Well, I'm gonna miss those ice cream, get free ice cream. Every day you get free ice cream and free lollipops. But yeah, the biggest takeaway is how to face my fear, how to take the fear and you challenge it. Don't walk away from it. Even if it's hard, you'll always get support. You just have to be headstrong and face challenge. And another thing is, you know that you made friends that you always keep in contact with, and that's the best thing about that.
Amazing. What about yourself? How do you feel?
To me? No, please be my guest.
So I'd say for me it was like a kick up the arse to get serious about goal setting. So writing them out, making realistic and smart goals, monitoring them, having mentors for accountability and advice and direction, these sorts of things. And it was great to practice different types of leadership. And so now I'm more clear on the need to, I guess, be aware of the people focus as well as the task focus within leadership. So like it's helped me change my style of leadership and be aware of other alternatives and things. So it's been fantastic.
Thank you for sharing that. In conclusion, I would like to thank the Rotary Club of King's Cross for this amazing opportunity of a lifetime. I made friends and memories that I will cherish for a lifetime. In addition, I would like to thank the Ryla leadership team for all the hours that you guys spent in making this possible. I have been to so many training and personal development seminars, and this is by far the best that I have ever attended, and it really showed. So thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. And finally, thank you to every Rylarian who became my friend. It's been truly an honor and a blessing getting to know y'all. And I hope for everyone seeing this video that you will definitely keep recommending more people to this event, because it is truly life-changing. And I'm not just saying that for the sake of this video, I really mean it. So have a great day, and thank you so much for watching my Ryla 2018 experience.